And this also has been one of the dark places of the earth. We live in a flicker. May it last as long as the old earth keeps rolling. But darkness was here yesterday. They were not enemies. They were not criminals. They were nothing earthly now. Nothing but black shadow. I stood horror-struck. Going up that river was like traveling back to the earliest beginnings of the world, when vegetation rioted on the earth and the big trees were kings. An empty stream, a great silence, an impenetrable forest. The air was warm, thick, heavy, sluggish. There was no joy in the brilliance of the sunshine.
Mr. Kurtz, he did.
The horror. The horror.
When whiteness came to blanket us, it sat heavy on our roof. And it rained white for a long, long time, until everything was white, until you wanted to be white, but you can't just be white. When white come in, white take our women, white come down and enter our home and take our women.
And they make you, and you not white, but you not black, you poor girl with your green eyes and your dark hair, and skin like caramel, like mud.
And you not white, but you not black either.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Katahakis. I'm a senior at Rutgers University. I do unfortunately believe that racism will always exist in our world because it's so ingrained in our culture, and we all have this mentality of sticking to what's the same and fearing what's different, and that's, racism at its core.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a senior at Rutgers. I grew up in Marlboro, the demographic was basically mostly white and Asian. I mean, there were a lot of Jews too, but it was predominantly white and Asian. I experienced racism twice. One was when I went to North Carolina and Virginia and even upstate New York, and I saw the Confederate flag on a lot of people's houses. The second time was when I was at my friend's barbecue, and she brought home this white guy to meet her family. My friend's black, and she brought this white guy to meet her family, and I could tell that her family was really fond of him, but I didn't really think anything of it. But then later on, she told me that her family would rather her date a black guy, which kind of made me wonder, do they care that I'm white, since I'm her friend?
So, Christophine, what is it like being a servant?
Well, servants are more like objects than people. I mean, I was a wedding present to your mother from Alex Causeway. Being a servant to me was like having a fourth child, because I am more of a mother figure to you than your own mother is.
How do you get along with the other servants?
The other servants don't like me because I dress differently, I talk differently, because I'm from Martinique, so I have more of a French dialect. They also didn't care for me because I was so loyal to your family. So it was kind of like I was experiencing racism from the fellow servants. Thank God for my magic, because they fear me.
And what did you think of the servant revolt on the Coolbury estate?
Well, your mother was right to fear the servants, and Mr. Mason was very foolish to think the servants were childlike and not harmful. But because your parents are very much hated by the servants, so that particular night, the servants were the ones in control, and the white Creoles were the ones who were afraid.
Do you think that racism will exist forever?
Yes, I do think there will be racism forever, because from my personal experiences, it shows not only did I experience racism from the white people, but I also experienced it from other black people. So, yeah, I do think they'll be racism forever. Now, Antoinette, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure, of course.
Do you feel privileged as a Creole woman in Jamaica?
Well, Christophine, honestly, I do feel privileged. I come from a slave-owning family with a rather large estate. So, yes, I come from the people in charge, I guess you could say.
Do you feel threatened by the servants?
Yes, I do feel threatened by the servants. I feel as though the hostility is growing more and more every day, and they're becoming very upset about their injustice that has been inflicted upon them. However, I feel as though I always treat my servants well, and Christophine, I feel as though you're a mother figure to me, and I hope you feel that way.
I do. Do you feel morally okay with having servants?
That's a tough question. Well, you know what, Christophine, I've actually never really thought about it. It's something that I've just sort of accepted because it's all I've ever known. But, you know, I've never really thought about it.
And do you think people will always have servants?
No, I do not feel as though we will always have servants. I think that, you know, especially in recent days, we've been realizing, you know, that this isn't, you know, the way that society should be conducted. I mean, people are denied their basic human rights, and it's unfair to subjugate a certain group of people based on race.
Yo, man, wasn't that your ex-girlfriend?
Where? Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. I swore I saw her.
Dude, who is she with?
She looked like this black guy. She looked pretty happy.
Dude, what is she doing with a black guy?
Does it make a difference, really?
Yeah, it makes a difference. What, she leave me for some black dude? Is that why she left me?
I mean, what's the difference between a white man and a black man in a relationship like that? She looked very happy.
I don't know, man. I know her family. I mean, is she gonna bring him home to family vacations and family events? And you don't think that's gonna be weird?
I mean, explain to me why it would be weird.
I don't know, man. It just doesn't belong. It's one side of the spectrum, the other side of the spectrum. It just isn't right. Especially
Well,
if that's the reason why she left me. I mean, come on, man.
What age are we in right now, man?
What age are we in?
This isn't the 1700s.
This is reality, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's reality. It matters. It makes a difference. That's all I'm saying.
What kind of world do we live in where this matters?
It's easy for me to love you and hate you from England. You are all the way away, and all I know is that you are imperative to my business. My fields are tilled for no money, and I love you. But I hate you when you try and leave my fields. When you try and wreck my fields. I paid for you, and you are costing me more money. But from England, I can't see this. I can only hear this. And when I get there, oh, darling, well, we're not in England anymore.